Northwicks here with the Business for Breakfast Show. You're watching episode number 27 right now, and today is going to be all about the number one myth that is being taught right now to a lot of business owners throughout the entire world. You do not want to miss this. Welcome back. Now, like I mentioned, this entire episode is going to be all about busting that myth, okay? There's so many people right now. So many people right now, it doesn't matter if you're making 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. I've heard it from all levels that people are out there, sharing the information as though it's true about how you can actually build a business without selling a thing. Now, if you look at the definition of selling, you've got to have a fair exchange of compensation for the amount of services being provided. There's got to be an exchange, right? One for the other. So if you listen to how people are actually teaching folks, and they're genuinely honest about how they feel that they're going to be able to help these people build their business. So it doesn't matter if you're, in internet marketing, if you actually have a business, if you're doing affiliate marketing, if you have something that you are going to make an income from, you have a service, you have a product, you have a business, you have something that you're going to deliver in exchange for monetary compensation, you sold something. Anytime that there's an exchange for money for service, you sold something. So it really was on my heart over the past few weeks. If you've noticed, I've been kind of MIA over the past few weeks. I've been traveling to Vegas, was visiting with some family, and was taking my daughter on a trip. So it was an amazing past few weeks. But I noticed that over the last few weeks, this topic has been really heavy on my heart because of the amount of people out there that I've been seeing sharing with their followers and with their clients and with their customers that you can actually build a business without selling a thing. I've seen it, how to build a 7-figure business without ever selling. Now, there's a difference. Okay? There's a complete difference between sounding salesy and being pushy and just actually selling. So like I mentioned in the beginning of this, if you are actually if you have a service, you created a business, you have a product, you have something that you are looking to give to your market, and you want an exchange of money for that service or product, you are selling. Now, you might not get on the phone and be like, hey, do you want to buy this? But in order for you to make a sale, you've had to create some sort of a brand, some sort of a trust factor. You have to have a process in place. You have to exchange something in order to receive that money. When you make that exchange, guess what? AKA, that's called a sale. So I wanted to really touch on this topic for the new people in the business, or the people who are kind of feeling that sales is not their thing. Well, it's gonna have to become your thing. It is. You're gonna have to figure out, the language, the communication. You're gonna have to figure out how to actually, get your product in front of those people in a way that's going to entice them to take action. And all of that is part of sales. You're going to have a follow-up process. You're going to have a way to deliver the product. You're going to have a way to follow up with the customers. You're going to have a way to actually, fulfill those orders. All that is a part of selling. When you get on your computer in the morning, on your phone, or wherever you do your business from, and you take a look at what you're going to do for the day, and you start to devise maybe a plan on how can you get your product, your message out, your specific message for today, out to that exact audience that is just dying to see what you have to offer, then the moment that you put that out there and they take action, the moment that you put it on there, you began your sales. You began your sales pitch. You began your sales process. You began your marketing, which creates sales if you do it right. So the reason why I wanted to touch on this again is because there's so many ways out there for you to actually develop a business without sounding salesy. There's different kinds of closes. There's actual strategies. The strategy that I use, okay, just to give you 100% transparency and let you kind of get an eye's peek into what it is that I do. What I do with my clients and with my customers and even with my market is I develop a plan where I can create some content. I can give them that content that I hope is valuable, right? Because I've done my market research. I understand the problems inside of the marketplace. So I want to deliver a solution to them, right? Well, if I do that in the right way and I do it collaboratively, then at the end of my, the content, whenever I have a call to action, whenever I'm on the phone, whenever I'm in a meeting, whenever I'm trying to close that client or make that sale, it doesn't have to be salesy. You could literally just ask them, hey, look, you know what? Is this something that you'd be interested in? Or, would you like my help putting this together? Or do you think that this would help you get to that next level? Or is this something that you've been waiting for? There's so many different questions that you can ask to where when they say yes, you could just say, okay, cool, I'm going to get you started today. This is how we're going to set it up. This is the plan. This is how we move forward. When you have that kind of, ease inside of your business, there's no stress to sales. It's you knowing that there's a problem inside the market and you are going to deliver a solution to that problem. When you are the person who can actually, when you're the person who your market can see is the go-to person for that solution, you're going to win every time. And you're not going to have to sound salesy. You're not going to have to be like the guys out there who do look like, douchebags, because they're sitting there saying that, oh, you need to get my stuff now or you're going to miss out forever and your kids are going to be broke. And if you love your family, you're going to buy my product. Oh, if you don't buy my product, you don't love your kids. That kind of stuff just doesn't work. And if it does work, it works. You have to burn through a bunch of communities, because the moment that somebody sees that message for the first time and it doesn't relate to them, you're done. If you use another kind of strategy, which is a non-salesy strategy, but it's still sales, then you're going to be able to create a return. You're going to be able to get people to come back and say, okay, well, I didn't want it right now, but this guy's got a point. He's got great content, and you know what? In the future, if I need anything, I'm going to go through this person or this service or this company, right? And when you do that, it provides so much of a relationship between you and your prospect. Whether or not they've ever met you personally, they've just been connecting with you online, maybe it's social media, but when you can actually give them, a solution, and you can do it in a non-salesy way, yes, you will be able to bring them back to look at your offer in the future. And we all know that it's going to take more than one exposure for a majority of the people to actually purchase from you. This is why follow-up, this is why understanding sales tactics is important. Now, using the bold, aggressive, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, all those kinds of things, the fear-mongering, that kind of stuff is not going to work unless you plan on burning through community after community after community, and that's going to be a much more stressful type of business model than if you just went to the marketplace and said, hey, look, I'm going to ask you a few questions, I'm going to figure out what your major problems are. I'm going to go ahead and create a product or create a service or create some content that I believe is valuable enough to help solve that problem. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow up with these people continually until I make my sales, until I build my brand, until I grow my circle, right? So once I get to that point inside of my business where I'm creating that content, there's no more pressure on whether or not I have to be a salesman. I can literally go and get into my office, I can create my content, or I've already had it created. I can start to distribute that content, start to collect the leads, start to get in front of the prospects, and then I can collaboratively come up with some solutions. I can make it to where it's not really pushy on their part, to where they can feel comfortable moving forward. So that's how I work. That's the model that we teach our clients. That's the way that we believe you're going to be able to build your business the fastest and keep it around the longest. So if you are listening right now to maybe somebody who is even, and I'm not dogging them, I have not made $1 million yet. I have not made $1 million yet. So you might hear some 7-figure earners, I've heard them saying how I built my 7-figure business without selling a thing. Now that really irks me. It irks me to no degree, and I've already shared why. So if you're listening to somebody right now that's telling you that you could build a whole business without selling something, that's a flat out lie. That's a flat out lie. There's 0% chance that you can build anything without selling. You've got to be able to have an exchange of monetary, money for services. Once that exchange happens, guess what happened? It was a sale. So I understand that a lot of you right now are watching this, and you personally, right now, inside that, watching this right now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, Brandon, I hate sales. And that's the majority of the world. But a lot of those folks who say they hate sales are still making 6 and 7 and 8 figures, because they understand the concept of having to deliver the right kind of message to the right market at the right time. And when you can do that, it might not feel salesy, but you definitely made a sale. So if you found any value in today's video, go ahead and leave some comments below. Share this with your friends. Let me know what you thought about today's episode, because as you can see, I'm very passionate about what I do, and I'm passionate about getting the right information to the right people so that you can succeed at your highest level. So I appreciate you for taking time out today to watch this episode. Come back tomorrow or later this week, and I will make sure that I continue to provide as much value as I can for you. Enjoy your day. Take care.